Hi everyone, Alistair Davies here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's lesson is all about controlling these arms through the ball really. So the rate of closure of the shaft, the club head, the arms, their roles as we enter impact, go through impact and exit impact really. How they're going to be working and why they should be working in that way to create the most consistent results with the most efficient speed. If you are a new viewer or a first time viewer, please consider following or subscribing. I post videos like this every week, all designed to help lower your scores and improve your golf and hopefully make you enjoy your golf more at the same time. Keep watching to learn all about the rate of closure during the impact area. So as described in the introduction, today we're looking at the rate of closure of the shaft and club head and the arms through impact. And to help me demonstrate it, I've got my plane on the shaft here. My plane is slightly damaged, the wing is broken, so I've adapted it a little bit so we can see what we still want to see. So we're going to use this to demonstrate the rotation of the shaft through impact to hit a straight golf shot. Now again, there are probably more than one way to do this. We can enter the impact with a more closed position and then hold it off more through impact and have less rotation in the shaft than we can do with a club face that's a bit more, let's say, square or even open, and then closing more through the ball. The key thing is really for me is that you try and understand what you need more of in your golf swing. So most of the golfers that I would see would tend to move the ball from left to right in the right-handed terms. So they would have a fade or a slice or a push slice. That's the most common ball flight we see as instructors. Now, the elite golfers would tend to have too much right to left curvature, too much closure of the shaft through the ball. And it's caused by many different things. A lot of it is to do with the body mechanics. A lot of it sometimes is to do with the club face position at the top of the backswing, the transition, the preparation. The first point of breakdown generally is either setup or takeaway, and then how that affects the backswing, affects the downswing and impact and so on. Today, I really want to dial into, through this golf ball here, how this club is going to be rotating to facilitate a square face in an ideal world. And if you are a golfer then that has too much left to right curvature, you try and take on board maybe a visual like this to help you rotate that shaft better through impact in the correct way. So let's talk about the ideals. So if I go just to my delivery position here, ideally this club head would be pretty parallel to my spine, and you'll see here the wings are slightly tilted down. Now as I go through the golf ball from there, what I want to do is keep the tail end ahead of the cockpit, and I want to feel that it is rotating. So now if you look at it, my wings are still slightly pointing down towards the ground to create that shaft lean, but they have gone from this position and rotated ever so slightly to impact. Now when I go through impact, if you imagine I'm keeping the club face square to the plane or to the circle, that wing is going to continue to turn, okay, tilt, and it's getting much more up to more horizontal levels here now, but it is rotating is the key thing. Now the cockpit is getting more level with the tail, and this is into our kind of straight line kind of conditions here where everything would kind of line up, and you'll see here, as I said to you, the cockpit, the tail, the wings are kind of at that kind of 45-degree angle as I would describe it. They've rotated. So we've gone from start position, a kind of an impact position, to a rotated position here where our body's doing its role as well. So to facilitate that, we want our body to rotate and extend. Our arms, our lead arm is supinating and our trail arm is pronating. Our lead wrist ideally is staying pretty flat into this position here. When it gets past this position here, our lead wrist is going to start to extend a little bit as it goes into the finishing with style position. It's pretty impossible to keep that into that flex state for the whole of the journey of the fall through. So ideally I would want to encourage you to feel that, because most people can't maintain that and have too much what we call club head throwaway, get too extended too early, and you'll see here from the plane perspective the cockpit overtakes the tail far too early. That adds loft. It does add a bit of closing to the club face, but it certainly adds loft and brings in poor strike into the equation also. So in order to lean the shaft and rotate it correctly, it's going to give us the strongest possible ball flight with the best opportunity hitting ball and turf. So we're de-lofting the club, we're getting that shaft lean, we're getting a low point after the ball, and we're facilitating that ideally through body action. So if my body stalls, I'm going to get more of this flip. So you get that cockpit then overtaking the tail. If my body turns and I feel the hands are fairly passive, we're going to get more of the rotation of the shaft through impact. So the rate of closure is as such. Now, as I said at the start, to make it very individual, if you're the person that has the left-right curvature, you need to increase the rate of closure. If you're the person that has too much right to left curvature, you need to decrease the rate of closure. So it's very difficult for me to say the rate of closure is A, and you need to do this. I want you to read your ball flight, and I want you to add in then the rate of closure you would need. Now, you don't necessarily need to go out and buy a plane and stick a plane to your club. If you just got a bit of a small bit of wood doweling or even a T-peg and sellotaped onto the shaft, and if you needed more rate of closure, you would feel that T-peg points more towards the ground into this position and probably points more towards the ground in this position. That's going to give you a closing effect of the club face. Now, if you're a visual learner, that's probably going to help you quite a lot. If you're more feel, you would just try and feel you getting these arms into these shapes. I kind of look at it in this position here. We're trying to catch rain with our lead hand. Now, if we wanted to decrease the rate of closure, you might well feel we're trying to catch rain with the trail hand. So we have feels, we have drills, we have different ways of changing the club depending on what you need. Now, we are not looking here at the cause and the effect. The cause and effect is a much more difficult thing to look at. And in an ideal world, when you work on your own golf swing, you'd work some part on the cause, some part on the effect, so you get instant success, but also working towards that pathway of making your technique more reliable, more consistent. If after working on it for some time, you get no difference in it, then you might just work on the effect more, on your timing more, to make you more consistent and make you the best you can be. So let's just go through this. So plane points down, plane rotates, the plane points down. The amount of rotation changes, but we're trying to feeding that to give myself a little draw for this. So ideally, I want this shot to have a little touch of right to left curvature, if I can. So pretty much perfect ball flight for me for what I'm trying to demonstrate there. Ever so slight right to left curvature, ever so slight. The strike felt okay. I really concentrated on using the plane then rather than thinking what I would do instinctively. So I used the visual aspect of the drill to try and change slightly how I'd move through the ball. And again, if you wanted to encourage more shaft lean, you'd be working more on the tail versus the cockpit side of things. And in theory, the more shaft lean you have, the harder it's going to be perhaps to rotate the arms. So the more you get the ball going straighter or even a little left to right. But that's absolutely fine. Again, it's all about feeding what you need. That's the expression I use all the time. As a golfer, there's no point knowing everything about everything. We need to know what you need to know to make a difference to you. That's going to make the biggest change to your scoring. So today's video on just the rate of closure, how to control the shaft through the ball if you like. I will do more videos on talking a bit more about the roles of the arms and the wrists, just to clarify that even further. But today's video really all about that and how we can use a simple visual object to help us feed what we need depending on our ball flight to make a difference to our golf. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please like and share the video. Really appreciate if you can do that. It really helps my channel, and I need your help to grow my channel and get it out there to more people for sure. Also, please join the conversation chat down below. Ask me any questions. Please feel free to send me your golf swings also, but ask me any questions and request any videos you want to see in the future. I really want to make this channel about what you want to see. Lastly, thanks for tuning in today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please hit my logo down this bottom corner. Join me in my journey and let me help you improve your golf. See you again here soon.